What have you been doing since retirement, and was the decision to leave a difficult one?
The decision to leave was very hard, very hard. I think the decision to leave at any time would have been very hard. I wasn't prepared to leave. I was planning to teach several more years at least. I love teaching. I love seeing the students every day. I like working with my colleagues. And I believe in the mission of the school. So it was all good. I couldn't wait to get home at night and look at a set of papers and see what kids had to say, or look at some tests, hoping, someone remembered predicate nominative. And, you know, I, I, I really enjoyed the whole process. I loved going in the morning. Um, I would open my office early, and Mr. Colgate would come by, tap on my door. It was just, it was nice to be with everyone. So it was really hard. It wouldn't have been easy at any time. And as hard as it was to leave so suddenly, maybe in a way, it made it easier to leave. The decision wasn't totally in my hands.
Yeah.
So in that way, I guess, still hard.
Yes, definitely. So what have you been doing since you did?
The reason that I made the decision is that, Loomis has been very good to me, and I think they would have given me the option to teach virtually for
Yeah.
the year, but I just felt that as other teachers came back, it wasn't fair to individual students to have one student has a teacher who can be in the classroom, and the other student has a teacher who will always be virtual. And that didn't seem quite right. So that was another reason to make the decision. So since that, I made that decision and sent in my resignation. There's a lot of paperwork involved with all of that. My niece decided, who was going to be married out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, with a big destination wedding, decided that she should have a small wedding at her parents' home in Canton. And so my sister and I put on a wedding for her. So that was a lot of fun, a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
definitely.
And I found myself baking layers for a wedding cake, and doing all the things that you would do to get ready for a wedding. So just my sister and I did the whole thing from soup to nuts, and
Wow.
it was days and weeks of work. So I really didn't have time to think about the fact that I wasn't going to school. In fact, a friend that I have that taught in West Hartford, our careers have dovetailed, came by my house the first day of school, what would have been my first day at Loomis, with a bunch of flowers and a book and a fresh scone, and we socially distanced from my front yard. And she said, I knew this would be a very difficult day for you, so I brought these gifts for you. And I was really touched by how thoughtful she was. However, I was supposed to be at my sister's house already doing whatever,
Oh no.
So I didn't really have much time to fret about that. And the wedding was October 10th, so we're barely over that. I have spent some more time with my two adorable, I have to say, grandsons. Nigel, or Jelly Bean as I call him, will be 4 on November 20th. And Jasper, I call him Jujubee, is 7 months. So
Oh,
it's been
that's so
fun to be
cute.
with them. So I've sort of exchanged, I don't know, King Lear for Legos, and Gatsby for Goodnight Moon, and that's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah.
And I am trying to memorize a poem a day, or
Oh, wow.
a poem every other day.
Yeah, that's hard to memorize one every day. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well, good
haven't.
for you. Okay, so the next question was, do you still want to be involved in the Loomis community somehow, or are you done with that chapter in your life?
I'll never be done with teaching. I would love to be involved with the Loomis community. I don't know how feasible that really is. Some of the retirement documents you sign sort of preclude continued involvement in the Loomis community. So if they ever decide that they would like to avail themselves of my services in some way, I'd be thrilled to do it.
Yeah, we miss you, so
Oh,
hopefully. Um,
I miss
uh,
everybody.
yeah. I was just talking with Caleb the other day about
Oh,
how, yeah, the class, like, was so like, such a great class and how we missed you and how it set us up so well for this year.
oh, well, I'm thrilled. Tell Mr. Colgate that. Tell Dr. Colbert that.
Okay.
I really, I love working with freshmen because it's such a formative year. You need all the basic skills. Some people come with, tremendous skills in one area and nothing in another. I always know I'm in trouble when I say, okay, now write down noun in your notebook. And somebody says, how do you spell that? And I think, oh, well, here we go. And I never taught sophomores in all the years that I was at Loomis. I taught sophomore writing workshop, but not a regular sophomore English. But I taught regular juniors, the advanced junior class and the advanced senior class, and a few electives along the way. So, I liked all of it, and I love tutoring. In fact, a number of my students have gotten in touch with me about the college essay, asked for my advice, or are doing independent writing projects on their own, writing a novel or trying to record history of their family, and they've asked me for advice, and that's always fun. I look forward to their calls and, just being in touch.
Yeah, staying in touch, yeah.
And
Okay, so
one of the nice things was when I don't know how, a number of alumni have learned of my retirement. And one of my students from, gosh, I don't know, probably at least 15 years ago, sent me a beautiful bouquet of flowers on
so nice.
the day that I would have returned to teaching. So that was really heartwarming.
Oh, that's so nice. How you guys have stayed in touch that long? Wow, that's so cool too. So I have one more question.
Sure.
What do you miss most about Loomis?
Ah, everything.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Your question reminds me, I was the archivist for 15 years as well as an English teacher. And I used to do an exit interview with each faculty member or person who had been there for a certain number of years. And I would always ask them, when you think of Loomis, what is the quintessential Loomis Chafee moment? And now I know how they feel because it was always a hard thing to answer. I miss the hustle and bustle of a new school year. The getting of the books, the setting up of the grade book, the deciding on, I always do this syllabus early during the summer, but running off the papers that I need and getting my classroom ready, finding something new to teach. I love all that stuff. Designing a new curriculum. And I love it when the students walk in the door. And when they first walk in, I shake everyone's hand. And I just love that moment of looking into their eyes because they have such expectation in their eyes. That's fun. The beauty of the campus, I think, is unparalleled. As a day teacher for, how many years was I there? 28 years. I never tired of driving onto the campus or in the early morning. The dew on the grass, fresh fallen snow, leaves falling, beautiful blossoms in the spring. It's just beautiful, a beautiful campus, a wonderful place to work. And everyone is kind. I never met an unkind person. Everyone was polite. I loved going into the dining hall and talking with the staff members, the people, the grounds people, the crew, always so helpful. I don't know. It's a wonderful community and
Yeah, I agree.
a heartwarming place to work. You're
Yeah,
going to be
definitely.
teary.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. No, it definitely is. It's definitely such a pretty campus too, in the community. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And, students come back to my room. That's a nice thing too. I'll hear from, somebody goes into sophomore year and all of a sudden one day in February they stop by my office and say, well, how are you? What are you doing? And that's nice. Everybody says hello to each other on the campus, holds the door. People are very generous with their time. I miss my colleagues. I've worked with some of them so long. Mr. Purdy, and certainly Mr. Scanlon, Mr. Colgate, Mrs. Greenspan. I know I'll miss some in naming them now, but and I love making new friends. Mr. Morgan. I mean, it's a very, very nice community. Miss Shea was one of my students, so.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. That's so fun. You literally get to like watch her grow up. So yeah.
She was a wonderful student, and I think she's a fantastic teacher.